There are many people in the Bible that the enemy planted snares, and they, out of their ignorance, out of their insensitivity, they were caught in the snares of the enemy, and they went away from the purpose of God. There are many people. If you notice, God rejects a great tall leader called Saul from the leadership as being the king of a nation, and God goes after a shepherd boy called David and anoints him as the king of a nation called Israel. God rejects Saul. On one side we see the rejection, and on one side we see the election. One hand rejects a man, the other side God elects a man, and David becomes the king of a nation. What a glorious thing. On one day, he was a shepherd boy. Just in the moment when Samuel anointed him with oil, the anointing of the Spirit of God came upon him, and he became the greatest king of a great nation of Israel. But there was a time when the entire nation was in the battlefield, when all the men in the house were fighting for the nation. Here was a king who was relaxing in the veranda of his palace. Well, you can ask, Pastor, is it wrong in relaxing? Well, he was just relaxing. I know he was just taking a day off, and he was just having a good time. He was taking a vacation. Nothing wrong in relaxing, nothing wrong in taking a vacation, but there is a requirement of God when God has ordained you and anointed you with a specific plan and a purpose. When the entire nation was fighting the battle, here was a king who was relaxing in his house. He was in the veranda, walking here and there, and he was not in a place where he should be. I believe the greatest danger is not what you don't do. I believe the greatest danger, what we should be doing if we don't do. Sometimes we are so stuck with the don'ts. Oh, don't see this, don't drink this, don't. But I'm telling you, the danger is when we refrain from the things that we have to do. Every single person who's sitting under this roof, you carry a unique blessing of God, and that blessing has a requirement. I believe this church has a requirement. Your family has a requirement. Your life has a requirement. Whenever God blesses you, that blessing comes with a requirement. A shepherd boy was made a king, and that glorious kingship came with an assignment, with a requirement. And when the whole nation is in the battlefield fighting for the nation, but here was a man who was called the king of a nation, relaxing. He was having a vacation. Some of us can say, well, the greatest sin that David committed was adultery and murder. Let me tell you, the greatest sin was not this. The greatest sin happened when he didn't go to the battlefield. The greatest sin was not murder. The greatest sin was not adultery. The greatest sin that David could do, he was not in a place where he should be. He was not doing what he should be doing. When that opens snares of the enemy in our life, the mishaps and the tragedies are not devil sent. Sometimes we open the doors to the enemy to come into our lives. Yes, we are Christians. Yes, we are baptized. Yes, we know Psalm 23. Yes, I know the God of Angel Army song. I know to pray. It doesn't matter what you know. Can I fulfill the requirements of God in my life?